If you could take all of the money in the world and distribute it amongst all of us human beings, so we all had enough money to do exactly what we wanted to do, would you do it? My name's PAM family. This is Get Out of Your Way. And let's figure this one out together. But first, did I wake up on time this morning? And what is today's success principle? Let's warm up and then we'll break down this complex question. So today's principle is quite an interesting one. And I'm going to start by actually sharing mine. So the time is 5:33. I finished my morning meditation walk, where I connect with nature, go outside, connect with Mother Nature, take my shoes off, walk on the ground barefoot. There's a whole science behind that, and we'll get into that another time. But I just wanted to show you the gym that I'm in here. I want you to take a really good look around at this gym. And no, I'm not showing you the gym because of the equipment, or I'm not showing you the gym because of, the style or the color or how nice it looks. That's not why I'm showing you the gym. I'm actually showing you the gym right now, which most of you would probably guess. I'm showing you the gym right now because of how empty it is. And this takes us to principle number 1 of this channel. There's one really massive difference between successful people and unsuccessful people. And that massive difference is that both successful people and unsuccessful people, they both don't like to do exactly the same thing. Okay? Meaning successful people don't like waking up early, don't like going for their morning walks, and don't really like, getting sweaty and putting themselves through pain in the gym early in the morning. And unsuccessful people don't like doing that as well. Okay? Both groups of people don't like doing that activity. Both groups of people don't like putting themselves through that pain and through that early morning wake up. The difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is that successful people do it anyway. This is the reason why this gym is empty right now. Okay? This is the reason why the gym is empty. This is the reason why I'm the only person here. And so what I want you to focus on, and what I want you to really, really think about for moving forward, is that when you find yourself doing something, or when you find yourself in a situation that you don't want to do, when you find yourself in a situation that is hard or that's tough, I want you to think about doing the task anyway. Okay? Putting your emotions to one side, putting your wants and desires to one side, and actually getting the job done anyway. That's what successful people do. They put themselves out there and they get the job done, whether they feel like it or not. And that's the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people. And that's the first insight for today. I woke up today on time, obviously, 4:30 a.m. I took my screenshot, took my picture. And when I eventually show you guys my sleep tracker, you'll see that this week's been really, really tough in terms of sleep and in terms of getting to bed on time. It's been really, really tough. So we're talking, and I don't condone this, right? This isn't what I condone. This channel is going to have a lot of tactics and insights about sleep and how important it is. But this week alone, there's been 2-hour days, 3-hour days, where things have been 2-hour nights, 3-hour nights, where things have been really tough. I've had to go to bed, get 2 hours sleep, 3 hours sleep, and wake up and keep going at 4:30. And today's one of those days. Yesterday, my first video went out. Day 1, obviously, it was like 1:30 a.m. I got to bed at 1:30, had 3 hours sleep, and now it's 4:30 a.m. and I'm in the gym, done my walk, and I'm in the gym. Okay, and I'll be catching up on those hours this week. I'll be catching up with those hours of sleep, but I'm in the gym. I'm still going, and this is what it means to be successful. So, success principle number 1 is this: successful people and unsuccessful people both do not like doing the same thing. The difference between the two groups of people is that successful people get the job done anyway. Whew, yes, I remember recording that this morning in the gym. Very, very insightful. And I think it's a principle that It's one of the biggest principles that people struggle with. I would say it is one of the biggest ones. That inner voice where it's like, oh, I know I said I was going to, but I can't be asked. Or oh, I know I said I was going to, but this bed is so warm right now. I think a lot of people, yeah, really do struggle with that. So I'm super glad that it was our first principle, yeah, our first principle of the channel. So let's jump into part 3, which is a complex breakdown of a question, and let's see how we can pick through this. So the question was, if you could take all of the money in the world and distribute it, okay, amongst every human being, so we all have enough money, would you do that? Because they do say that money is a massive cause of a lot of problems, right, in the world. And so this should fix it, right? Well, let me tell you how I came across this question and how I wanted to speak about this in today's episode. So I was with my friend and my team member, and we were actually speaking about this concept. We were speaking about the idea of, fixing the world's problems, and if everyone had enough money, what would that, that would help, right? That's what he proposed. And it took a couple seconds just to think, and I said to myself, no, no, that's not the solution, just to give everybody money and 95% of the world's problems will go away. The issue humans have isn't that we all don't have enough money. The issue is that we all have, or most of us have, a poor mindset. This is the issue with humanity, or one of the biggest issues with humanity, is that our mindsets are not cultivated to the level it needs to be to create the wealth that we often all wish for, right? And so having more money is not going to solve the actual cause of the problem, which is a poor mindset in the first place. Having more money isn't going to do that, right? And so I broke it down to him, and I'll break it down here for today's episode as well. But essentially, what the problem is that, and you see it also in the studies, right? So I think it's the National Foundation for Money or something like that. I think I butchered the name. I think it's National Foundation, National Lottery Foundation, something like that, in the USA. And they done a study, and there were 70% out of all of the lottery winners, 70% of them lose their money, become absolutely broke within a few years, within 3 years or so of winning the lottery. So we're talking about millionaires, right? Millionaires, people who have won the lottery, they're now millionaires, and within 3 years, 70% of them have lost the money. Okay. Now, this is very indicative of the point I'm making, which is that this being wealthy and being rich, being successful, is a mindset first principle. It's a principle of going inside, getting out of your own way, and then building and crafting the identity and the mindset of a successful person. And that's when you raise your vibration, and that's when you become the person that actually can withhold, maintain, and actually maintain the £1,000,000 that you've got, or you've acquired. Okay, so that's why 70% of people lose their money, because they're not in the right mindset, they're not in the right vibration of that money, and so they will make certain decisions and they will do certain things with the money, and they will end up losing it. Okay, because it's a mindset first thing, it's a me thing first, right? And so I think Jim Rohn says it best. Jim Rohn says, don't wish things were easier, wish you were better. Jim Rohn is like, oh my God, he's my guy. Like, I think he's definitely passed away now, but peace, may he rest in peace. But I think Jim Rohn's like one of my top two, top 1, 2, 3, people alongside Brian Tracy, Zig Ziglar, all those guys. But let's not get into that right now. What I was trying to say is that Jim Rohn says, don't wish you were better, don't wish things were easier, wish you were better. And that is synonymous with, don't give a man a fish, teach a man to fish, right? Don't think just having things is what's going to make your life better, because you won't maintain it. Okay, you won't maintain it. And this actually also brings me to one of the courses that I'm doing right now, actually on Mind Valley. I'll put a link in the description below. But in Mind Valley, I'm doing a course right now. If you don't know Mind Valley, it's a massive platform. It's the biggest online education platform, personal growth platform in the world. Incredible courses, incredible vibe, energy, community. Like, it's just, imagine personal growth online. That's Mind Valley. Okay. No promotion, by the way, no promotion. So essentially, I'm doing a course right now called Indistractable by Nir Eyal. It's quite difficult to pronounce and sort of say his name, but yeah, Nir Eyal is the coach of this program that I'm doing, called Indistractable, and it talks about how to stay laser focused, how to time box your calendar, how to work out what the distractions are, and you know, put them to one side and manage them and all that stuff. So it's really, really powerful for a peak performer and someone who wants to really grab every day and grab every second and be organized. Apologies. That is crazy. Need to be quiet. Sorry about that. So yes, Nir Eyal Indistractable course. So in that course, he speaks about the causes of our distractions, right? Or the causes of anything. And there's these two types of causes, or there's these two types of, causes essentially. And people often mistake what the cause is of their issue. Okay, people mistake what the cause is of their issue. Often people will have an issue, in this case, losing £1 million, and be like, oh yeah, I lost £1 million because I invested it in this business and the business failed. That's why I lost £1 million, right? That's not the reason why you lost £1 million. You lost £1 million because you implemented the wrong principle. You put all of your eggs in one basket, in this case, invested £1 million in one company. The company went bust and you lost the money. That's why you lost the money. And you can then go deeper than that and talk about why did you make that decision in the first place. And then when you get to the root cause, you find out it's actually because you have a poor mindset. You've not cultivated your mindset, right? And so he speaks about these two causes. One cause is the proximate cause. Proximate, probably meaning proximity. Proximity, right? So closeness, or the thing that's close to the issue is what people talk about, right? So the obvious thing, the thing that's close. So it's like the proximate cause in this scenario is that you can see that you've given your money to a company and they've gone bust, and all of a sudden you've lost your £1 million. And it's like, that's the proximate cause. It's like a surface, right? A surface layer cause. But you have to go to the root cause, which is the second type of cause, as to why you made that decision, as to why you actually got there. And that's what I've just broken down, right? So the proximate cause is, oh, the company went bust. That's why I lost my £1 million, right? But that's not the reason why you lost your £1 million. That's just the proximate cause. That's the surface level, easy to see, the obvious answer, right? But the root cause, the factors that led up to you making that decision, that's what we need to get to figure out why we're here. And so that's, in terms of the question for today, this complex breakdown of would you spread money and wealth to everyone so everyone had enough, thinking that if people had enough money, that's what will solve their problems. That's the proximate cause. The proximate cause is that people don't have money. And we can say that's why there's so many problems in the world. That's not the reason why there's so many problems in the world. Give everyone £1 million right now and there'll still be the same problems, because we're not dealing with the root cause. Okay. And the root cause is actually most people have a poor mindset. That's actually the root cause. And so if I was attempting to fix the world's problems, and this is what I said to my friend, my team member, if I was attempting to fix the world's problems, I would wish for everyone to have a strong mindset, right? Because if you fix the root cause, which is everyone having a strong success mindset, a mindset of getting out of your own way and progressing, get going, get started. If everyone has that sort of mindset, then that is what will fix the world's problems. Then if you gave everyone £1 million, or then if you gave everyone some money or wealth, you would have less problems because people would know how to keep it, manage it, success principles, X, Y, and Z, right? And that's the reason why I wouldn't give everyone a bunch of money. Tony Robbins made this really popular, but I think it was someone called Michael. I don't know. I think it's called Michael Hopf, who originally termed this phrase. But Tony Robbins, I think, popularized it because I heard it from Tony Robbins like a bunch. But essentially, there's this principle, and this really solidifies the point that we're making here today, right? So there's this principle which says bad times create strong people. Strong people create good times. Good times create weak people, and weak people create bad times. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw that out for you because this is a very powerful, this is actually a very, very powerful cyclical nature of humankind. And actually, if we can get our head around this concept, I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see. Bad times create strong people, right? And what happens is strong people create good times, and then good times. This is my first time using this whiteboard app, by the way, so bear with me. But good times then create weak people, and weak people actually go on to create bad times. And this is unfortunately the perpetual cycle of humankind. This is the issue with mankind and our mindset, right? Just by giving people a bunch of money, okay, it's going to create really good times. And this is actually the part of the cyclical nature that we enter when we're talking about this kind of question. This is actually where we enter the cycle, right? It's here at good times. If we just give, and in fact, no, I'm going to say it's here at good times. If we just give everyone £1 million without fixing the mindsets, without helping people with their mindsets, then it will create a really good time. Everyone will have money, but the people are weak, right? The mindset's weak. And this weak mindset, Duolingo, apologies. Done my Duolingo already this morning, by the way, tick. So these good times will create weak people. And these weak people will then obviously create bad times, right? And it's the bad times that then, because we forge on as a human race, that's what creates strong people. And then once we have strong people, these strong people will create good times. And the cycle goes on. Okay. So this is really, really crucial to understand. And in terms of breaking down this complex question, that is how I'll tackle it. Don't give people what they think they want. Give them what they need, which is actually, in this case, is a stronger mindset. Let's deal with the root cause of the issue, right? So now we're going to get into part 4 of this episode, where we actually introduce the first success blueprint that you guys are going to be able to download in 1 week's time. In fact, 6 days. I think 6 days is left. Yes, in 6 days' time, you guys are going to be able to download the success blueprint. So let's introduce it. Let's share my screen so you guys can see it big. And let's get going with part 4. Incredible. Let's jump in. So this first document is an absolute treat, okay? This success blueprint is a game changer. And the reason why it's a game changer is actually because this doc splits your life up into 12 categories, okay? And this is from the 12 category principle from the course Lifebook. Lifebook is a course that I also do on Mind Valley. And what it teaches you is actually to split up your life into these 12 core categories, right? So we have health and fitness, intellectual life, character, emotional life, finance, parenting, social life, quality of life, life vision. Maybe I've missed a couple, career as well. But there's 12 categories. And this principle means that you're able to review your life and pick goals from a 360 degrees of what it means to be a human being. That's why this is a game changer. A lot of people select, financial goals. I want to make, 500,000 this year. Some people set, physical goals or health goals, right? Where it's like, I'm going to go to the gym every single day. But with Lifebook, it enables you, it empowers you to, and it forces you almost to look at your life from all 12 different angles. And you can really see where you're over indexing in one place and under indexing in another. So this is the way that I set up my year. This is the way that I tackle the year. I make sure that I have all 12 categories reviewed, and I set goals across all the categories to make sure that I'm rounded in my approach, and I'm feeding, essentially watering, like plants, watering all angles of my life. So let's jump into the screen share and I'll show you what this is all about. Awesome. So, um, as I mentioned before, and let me go. This is the document anyway itself, which I can show you here as well on Google Slides, my best friend. So let me jump in and let me actually push this to full screen so you can see. So this is page one. Now, every single year for the past 3-4 years, I've had a keyword for the year. Okay. And this keyword, and this is another success principle which I could bring in at another time, but let me just drop some bombs for you, like, right? Drop some gems for you guys right now. So every year, what elite people do, what successful people do, is they pick a word for the year. And that word is, they focus on that word. And normally what they'll do, obviously, is they'll review the last year or review the past couple of years and work out where they've been lacking and what they've not essentially tackled very well. And then they'll make that their word for the year. So in 2024, my word was commitment, right? Commitment 2024. That was my thing. I ended up, again, getting 52% on my goals and 67% on my daily habits. That's not really committed. And so when I reviewed that, again, looking within myself, getting out of my own way and looking at why couldn't I commit? Why did I get basically a half month, right? And it turned out, I realized, for a lot of doing the work and analyzing and looking at all my results, I realized that my it's not about committing. Committing is just like what we spoke about. It's a proximate concept. It's something that is a surface level. It's not a root cause that you need to really get going. And what I realized is that before you're committed to something, you actually need to have the right identity. And we're going to get into this actually in the next episode, where we break down what it takes to create a strong mindset, or what it takes to do the right things consistently. And it actually all begins with identity. And we're going to break that down in the next session. And so when I realized this, I was like, oh man, I spent a whole year focusing on commitment, when actually I could have spent this year focusing on identity. And that was the word that I then picked for 2025, because identity, once you have the correct identity, commitment becomes a whole lot easier. And I'll give you an example of what I mean by that, right? So I don't smoke. I've never smoked at all in my life. I've never put any sort of cigarette or anything to my mouth, any sort of fumes. And so I don't smoke, right? Now, my identity is, when it comes to that regard, is I am a non-smoker. Full stop. That's my identity when it comes to that concept of smoking. I am a non-smoker. I don't smoke. And so let me ask you the question: how committed, how committed do I need to be to not smoke? It doesn't take much. You know what I mean? It doesn't take much commitment not to smoke, because my identity is set as a non-smoker, right? Even if I reversed it, right? Let's say I was a Muslim, for example, right? I'm not, but let's say I was a Muslim, for example, and I pray 5 times a day. In that scenario, how committed do I need to be to pray 5 times a day? Again, not that committed. It doesn't take a lot of commitment. I'm a Muslim. That's why, that's what I would be doing if I was in that religion. I would be doing that 5 times a day. It's done, because the identity was set first before the behavior. Identity comes before the behavior, right? And so I was a bit of a fool in 2024 to pick commitment as my word over getting my identity right. And that's why part of starting this YouTube channel and being accountable, accountability is one of the parts of my identity that I'm trying to, and commitment and discipline. And this is what I'm trying to build with this YouTube channel and making sure that I'm held accountable and I do the things I say I'm going to do. I want the identity of someone who does the things they say they're going to do. That's a massive reason of me doing obviously this YouTube channel and making sure that you guys hold me accountable, right? And so that's the word for 2025. That's what I'm doing here. And so let's jump back in. So we have the keyword the keyword. This is the homepage, right? So we've got your keyword identity 2025, and then we have the key statement underneath as well. And we're going to get into this in our next session when we break everything down. But essentially, you have the cover image. Then we have all 12 categories of Lifebook, the Mind Valley course, which we have here. And then we actually begin breaking down every single category, health and fitness, intellectual life, all of them into 3 sections. So the 3 sections are, just gonna jump into this one so you can see. The 3 sections are what went well in 2024, what didn't go well in 2024, and what am I going to do about it in 2025? That's how the page is broken down. And then when you go through all the categories and you get to the end, you actually then have your score. So, like, again, no word of a lie, I actually got 52% of my goals for 2024. Like, it was that bad, right? So last year in 2024, I got 52%. This year I set a target for 80%, and let's see what I actually achieve, right? And on this side we have the bottom performance scores and top performance scores, which we'll get into. I'll show you how that works in our next session when I break this down. So remember, you guys are going to have access to this at the end of the week, right? So at the end of every week or every single week, you get access to the document. And part of the video is for me to break down the document, break down how it works, so that you guys can download it and use it yourself. Okay. Sorry, I'm looking at myself again when I should be looking at the camera. My bad. Yes. So does that make sense? So this is going to be downloadable for you, and we'll go through this entire thing and break it down throughout the week so that you know how it works. At the end of the week, you download it and you use it, and you're off. Okay. So I think, my friends, that wraps up episode 2. I'm going crazy. Episode 2, we're good, we're done. Thank you so much for watching. This has been, I'm getting better, and it's becoming more and more, I'm becoming hopefully more and more comfortable. Things are looking much better. So thank you so much. Like the setup, making a few less mistakes. So I'm really just going to aim to learn or execute and learn on one thing every single day. And if I can do that throughout these videos, hopefully by the end, they're going to be half decent, right? So thank you so much for watching. You guys have been awesome. My name is Pierre Yamfam. This is Get Out of Your Way. And I hope we figure this out together. I'll catch you in the next session.